Okay, guys, so my Oscar tank is like a million times differenter. Not literally, but yeah. Um, I took out the gravel. I didn't like it. I kept saying I didn't like it and I was going to change it out sometime or something. I don't know if I'll buy new gravel or not because my plan is to get them their 90 here, hopefully, soon. If not a 75. I can afford a 75, but the 75 that I'm looking at isn't as nice as the 90. And the 90 comes with the black stand, and it comes with the tank has the black silicone instead of the clear stuff. I don't like that clear white silicone. And it comes with glass lids and LED lighting, Marineland double bright LED lighting. So it's a really nice 90 gallon. It's $700. It's on sale for $560. And the 75 gallon is just a 75 gallon tank. I believe it has the white silicone. It has just the regular hoods and lights like this tank does. Yeah, that's about it. Doesn't come with no stand. There's no canopy. Just the hoods, lights, and tank, and I believe that's all, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, lids, lights, and tank. And I have everything else for the most part. I have the heater, I have filters. I would need to get a bit bigger filters, like probably a canister actually, for a tank 75, 90 gallons or bigger. Because, I mean, you just don't have enough space on the back of the tank to fit enough power filters on it, so if I end up having to get a canister filter once I get the bigger tank. But yeah, this tank just looks horrible. It's not meant for looks right now though. I turned the Aqua Clear 70. It's not a bad filter. It's just not meant for this kind of tank. The Oscars are just way too messy and it just clogs way too fast. It's meant for like more small fish where there's a little fine debris. So yeah, it's not meant for big messy pellets and everything that are getting sucked up and clogging the filter. It's just not meant for that. So, but I mean, the Oscars are doing pretty good. The Pacu's happy. The Pleco's doing good, I guess. I put them in here from the other tank. There's the other tank. The other tank is really crowded. But we're talking about this tank. The other tank looks good decoration-wise, but the fish are just getting way too big, and there's way too many of them in there. So I don't know what I'm gonna do with that. I'm gonna have to do something with them. Probably end up getting rid of them because I'm not getting another 55, and anything under 55 would just be too small for the majority of those fish in that tank. So, and this 55 I'm gonna be getting rid of once I get rid of the Oscars. I mean, not get rid of the Oscars, but give them the bigger tank. Their tank will be going over in this corner. They're 90 gallon. It's just an ugly van outside a window. And yeah, so it fits in there perfectly. When that closet door is open, there's 53 inches of space, and the tank stand is 50 inches wide for the 90 gallon. So it'll fit in there like a glove. Yeah, I did like a 50% water change Thursday night. Then I did like a 75% water change yesterday, which would be Friday night, and it still looks horrible. The gravel is where most of my bacteria was colonizing, so that's why it's cloudy. And it's not good that I don't have that much bacteria in the water. It's actually really bad. But I did put two rocks in there, and that one's really porous, so it should collect some bacteria on it. But I mean, the more junk I put in there, that they don't even like it. I mean, I had all that stuff, the plants out, so that way they could go in between them and hide. And they just shove them all up in the corners, and then they push the rocks around. They don't even want them in there. So it's just annoying with them. But over to this tank now. This tank is severely overstocked. Don't criticize me for that. But there's really good water quality. There's a little to no aggression. My parrot cichlid's being a douche, though. He's just being a complete douche. Most of the time he's alright, but some of the time he'll fight with my male convict cichlid. And sadly, the weird thing is the parrot cichlid will win. The parrot cichlid will win. This parrot cichlid is supposed to be cave-dwelling, super shy and skittish fish. Not this one in the slightest. I had him with my Oscars. He beat up my Oscars too. That's why he is no longer with the Oscars. Also because they don't eat the same food. That's another reason that he's not with the Oscars. But he'd beat up the Oscars, then he'd beat up my convicts, since convicts are supposed to be tough, rugged, piranha-killing fish. No. Convicts, I mean, the ones I have in my personal experience, I got mine from PetSmart, they're docile. I mean, unless another fish comes at them, they will not do anything. I mean, African cichlids starting to be a douche. He's coloring up, though, so there's no female in there. But I'm pretty sure that's a male because he's never laid eggs before, or whatever, however they do that. I don't know how African cichlids do that, but yeah. My convicts have laid eggs before a long time ago, but they haven't done anything recently. I put those caves in there last night. I had all those stonework in there and everything. I just had these flat stones laying in my closet after I took down that 10-gallon and just laid them across there. And the convicts, the red-tailed shark, the catfishes, bluegills in there, goldfish were in there, blow-red paraseckel was in there. They all appreciate it. Clips catfish was in there. Pictus catfish was in there. Elge eater was in there. All of them went in there and checked it out one time or another. Back there's my big old pumpkin seed. He's getting huge. I got him back in the beginning of this year. I caught him at a local pond. Actually in St. Patrick's Park. I caught him this big. I mean, he was no bigger than an inch, because I was just catching him out of the nets and off the shore. And I caught him, and itty bitty little thing, and he was cute, so I kept him. I actually won a bet with him. I bet my sister that I could catch a fish before she could with a net, and she didn't catch any, and I caught this guy, so I kept him. Then we also caught these guys at the river down there at St. Patrick's Park in the St. Joe River. Yeah. Caught these guys in that pond where I caught the other bluegill, the pumpkin seeds on the fish. Caught that guy out of a pond at my grandpa's house. Got him as an Oscar feeder common fish. He is one of the younger fish in this tank and one of the biggest fish. You know, you can buy little 13-cent comic goldfish. They're like half-inch long, or like itty-bitty. At least, I mean, if I go to Petco, like, they'll give you humongous feeder minnows, but you go to PetSmart, all the little feeder fish are like this big, and it's itty-bitty. You go to Petco, like this big, and there's a big size difference. But I usually shop at PetSmart the majority of the time for a lot of the stuff, because there's no really local privately owned fish stores around here that I know of, except for the Blue Zoo, I believe is what it's called, and that's really not privately owned, but it's just a really tiny shop, and it doesn't have anything except for fish, and there's no, I usually am going out to buy stuff for the aquariums. Speaking of which, they broke my glass thermometer. I've gone through 5 of those glass thermometers in about a month and a half period, and every night, I don't know which one of them is doing it. I'm assuming it's the Pahu, because usually he'll freak out when you turn the lights or turn them off or do something weird. He'll just freak out, and I'm assuming he might have broke it because the Oscars don't have as hard of a face as he does, and he's usually running into junk. But as you can see, he's getting quite huge. He is like every bit of like 10 and a half, 11 inches long almost. So I got a glass thermometer. I went through 5 of those. I'm like, I'm done with this. I'm paying $4 a piece. I mean, they're not that expensive, but still, it's gonna rack up to a decent wad of cash eventually if I keep buying them. So I'm like, oh, go out and get a metal thermometer. So I was at Myers. PetSmart didn't have any. I was at Myers shopping with my mom, and I saw this little metal one right here. Okay, this metal thermometer, and I'm like, awesome. It's metal. It's not that thick. It shouldn't hurt them or anything. Shouldn't break. Well, guess what they did? They found the only way to break it. I don't know how they did that, but they snapped it. They snapped it within 1 day of having it in the tank. I set it on the ledge in this back corner right back here. One of them must have freaked out and hit it. Probably won the Oscar, since those are the ones always in this corner. But they freaked out. One of them freaked out or got mad at it or something and hit it. Snapped it right in half. As you can, let's see. As you can see, it snapped completely in half. So, this is no longer any good. I just saved it so that way I could show you before I threw it away. But, back to this tank. Nubius nana, I just usually let it float, or whatever you want to call it. I don't ever root it down. I just let it attach to whatever it's floating next to. And, I say it attaches to driftwood. I don't really use driftwood. driftwood. So I just got tired of it floating around, getting caught in the wave maker and the filter. So I just, as you can see, it's all chopped to crap because of the wave maker. But I just put it down in the gravel underneath that rock for, it's been down there for what, 2 days. Yesterday, a brand new leaf came up. I mean, can you believe that? As soon as I put it in the gravel, a brand new leaf sprouts. So hopefully that'll bounce back. I don't use no supplements because I'm not a planted tank kind of person. It's just, if it lives, it lives. If it dies, it dies. It doesn't really matter to me. For that plant, because I'm not live planted, it's just simple LED, not LED, but strip lights, white fluorescent bulbs. And at night, I just have this on. It's a little LED bar. It's a top fed bubble wall or whatever. I don't hook it up to the air stone, so instead of putting it down at the bottom of the tank like they recommend so the bubbles can come up and light up and turn to the colors of the LEDs, I just put it up at the top on the trim and I let it face down. So I don't know how good this will show up since it's daytime, but at night it will just have a nice blue tint. And you can it lights up the whole tank just enough so that you can see the fish, but not really disrupt them. So, yeah. Had a bunch of minnows in there. I went out to Petco, asked for 40 minnows. They gave me 100 for the same price, for the price of 40, which is, I ain't mad. That's fine with me. But I fed my Oscars for like 3 days. It took them about 3 days to eat the majority of them. I could put a couple in here. If I put like 10 in here. And slowly but surely they're getting picked off. The biggest ones are alive. I had started out with like 40 of these bluegills in here out of that 10 gallon. And they're all gone, but I ain't mad about that either because I didn't want all of them, and I didn't want to return them because I didn't think they would live if I returned them, so might as well get one of the fish get a meal. I don't know which one ate them because I never saw any of them eat them, but it's probably the green terror or something because he's the only one with a big enough mouth, and maybe the catfish ate the smaller ones, I don't know. But yeah, I have peppered koi catfish, albino koi catfish, 2 albino koi catfish. Now I'm a striped Raphael catfish, red-tailed shark, an albino rainbow shark, comet goldfish, 3 calico goldfishes, a blooded parasitic eclipse catfish or pond goldfish, a bunch of little bluegills and minnows, some kind of pumpkin seed or something, another pumpkin seed, 2 of those small ones. One of the big ones is a smaller one. A green terror, African cichlid, don't know what species. I assume Malawi or Mabuna. African spotted leaffish. Spotted hyphen plecostomus, a regular common plecostomus, a pictus catfish, a LG eater. Let's see, I think that's 99% of everything I have in this tank. If I didn't name it off, you can see it. I don't know if I said eclipse catfish. I think I did. There's this cool catfish I saw. Lizard catfish. It's cool, I guess. That Passmart's a new species they have in. They also have some new cories, some moldy, MULID or something. I don't know. They're like brown with the yellow stripe down there's dorsal fin. I don't know. They're different. I don't even remember the name. Yeah, as you can see, the guys like their caves. So, yeah. Thanks for watching, guys. Adios. See you next time.